Okay. Watchman came on? Okay. What do you say, Zion? What
Yeah.
with Peches? Dini Muktzah b'Shabbos, Zion, right? Did you say Zion?
Yes, I said Zion through your dollar. Yes,
Through Yud Dalet.
your dollar, including your dollar.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, so Zion. Davar she'ena love shem kli klal. Let's say something doesn't have a kli, a status of kli at all. Could go in eitzim, bavonim, b'tichas barzel, ch'doim, wood, stone, pieces of metal, and anything similar. Asurim gamkin b'chol tiltul, then those are not allowed to be taken at all. Afilu tzarech gufan u'tetzarech mekoymon. Even if you need the place, even if you need it, meaning you find a piece of metal laying on the floor and you want to use it to open up your peanuts or your walnuts or whatever, you're not allowed to. All right. Afilu tzarech gufan u'tetzarech mekoymon. Ella imkain yichadu be'erev Shabbos le'eza tashmish sheyishtamish bo la'olam. Unless you meyachid and on erev Shabbos for whatever it is that you need. Meaning, if you saw the metal before Shabbos and you said, "Oh, I'm going to use that metal on Shabbos," then it would be okay. All right. V'lachein also litol kesem, you're not allowed to take a little piece of wood. Lachtzitz by shinov to clean out your teeth. Neiros she'ein and shleimus gamkin ein shem kli aleim. And candles. This, believe it or not, this is actually a common question. Candles that are not haven't been used also don't have a shame kli. Vasurim b'chol tiltul, and they're also in kol tiltul. People ask if they could put birthday candles in a cake without lighting them. Right? So the chara that has, when it's not lit, it has a din of a kli. So then it's really not a problem. But we tell them to be miyachid them from before. But they're really ba'atzim.
Didn't we say there's the whole thing with candles anyway?
What?
Isn't there like a whole thing with candles anyway?
What do you
We're
mean?
not supposed to be using candles.
Oh, that's a different story. But if we, you're right. That's whether candles is for birthdays is avodah zarah or whatever goyish thing.
Avodah zarah. That's just...
Yeah, that's true. But these are unlit, so that's l'chara not avodah zarah.
Oh, so unlit. You could use it unlit. Okay.
Yeah. I'm saying on Shabbos, so you meyachid it, and that's it. V'chein sulam shel aliyah ain't a love taras kli, and a ladder of an aliyah, meaning it doesn't have a taras kli on it, and you can't move it, right? But a regular ladder that you use around your house, that l'chara is okay. Fine. Kli shemalachti leheter. Let's say it's a kli shemalachti leheter, which is everything: a chair, stender, or afilu leisser uleheter, or something that's even for isser and heter. Could go in kederas, pots, because pots you can make a salad in it. That's leheter. Or you can make a soup in it. That's leisser, because you're not allowed to make soup. Right? Afilu kelim mausim, even dirty kelim. The b'Shabbos muktzah machmas mias mutter. Even on Shabbos when they're muktzah because they're disgusting, it's also mutter. Mutter tatan afilu rak b'shvil akli, and you're allowed to take it even for the kli shalei yiganev or yishavar, so that it doesn't get stolen or broken. But if it's no reason whatsoever, then you can't take it. For kisvei hakodesh and kisvei hakodesh for eichlin and eichlin mutter l'taltalan afilu shalei l'tzara klal, you're allowed to take them even shalei l'tzara. Test kashem she'asa l'taltal l'samuktzah, the same way it's also to take muktzah oyes and noilad or anything that was born today, kach asalitin kli tachtein, you're not even allowed to put a kli under them. That thing should fall into it. Because by doing that, it's mevatel the kli that you can no longer take it. And it's as if you attached it there with cement, meaning this is called mevatel kli mehechana. You're using the kli for something that is muksa. Right? Ayin la'el simin ayin hey sif yudalef. Aval mutter lichvei sal lefnei afreishim. But you're allowed to turn over a basket in front of chicks in order for them to go up and down. Because since they don't stay in the basket, mutter l'taltalei is you mutter to take. I mean, once they're not there, you can just remove it. And let's say the birds were on their ben hashmashos, and we know whatever status things have ben hashmashos, that's what they retain. Right? Neser asal b'tiltul l'chalayim, then you cannot move the sal the whole day. Yud, offer v'chol hatzaver bezavius b'chatzer. If you have dirt and sand that's piled up in a corner, b'chatzer or b'bayis, in a house or a chatzer or a bayis, mutter l'taltali, it's mutter to move it. Given the tzavra, since he piled it up there, zui hazmanase l'tashmish, that is the hazmana for tashmish. Aval imhu mufuzar batal l'gabi karka. But if it's spread out, meaning because back then they had dirt, they used boxes of dirt in the house, and whenever they needed to smooth out the floor, they would just sprinkle some dirt on it. But so that's considered that you already made a hazmana that it's no longer muksa. But once you spread it out, then it's batal to the karka, but also the tiltal, then it's also to carry it. Meaning, so from the box of dirt that you have in the house, that's mutter. But to go taking dirt that's already on the floor, then that's also. Before Shabbos, you cut off a branch from a tree, to wave it, and to chase away the flies. Similar things. If you did it, if you cut it out of Shabbos, it's mutter to use in Shabbos. Give it sheyichudu. Since you were meyachid for this, so kli, you made it a kli. I will also likach b'Shabbos bad mina machbados, but you're not allowed to take a branch, meaning a piece out of a broom, sherehu muksa, because it's muksa, because you weren't planning on using it before Shabbos. Afilu not le'akum, also l'tatel. Even if a guy took it, is also to take it. Yud Aleph nesarim shal balabatim. So these pieces of wood that balabatim have, meaning it's meant for home use, and they're not meant for business. Mutter l'taltalan, it is mutter to take them. V'shal uman, but if it's for a worker, then it's also, because for him, it's meant for business. Unless he thought about it on Friday to use it on Shabbos. Yud Beis, kol muktzah eina aser ela b'tiltul. All muktzah is only aser b'tiltul. Al v'negia ba'alma, she'ena menadadai shari. But just to touch it and not shaking it is mutter. That's a big misunderstanding in the world. The world thinks that muktzah you can't touch. You're allowed to touch muktzah. You just can't shake it. You're allowed to touch a menorah that's standing. Afilu neiros dalkos, but even if there are neiros in it. Dvar heter hamunach al gabi muktzah. And you also could put a davar heter on something that's muktzah. I will also league of a menorah hatluya, but it's also to touch a menorah that's hanging, because because then even with touching it, it's going to shake. And it's mutter to cover off something that's muksa with something that's not muksa, that you're allowed to do. That's not called bitul klei me'echane like we learned before. There you're putting it under. Here you're putting it on top. You're allowed to move muksa back with the back of your hand. Let's say you left some muksa on the kli. The most common example of this is somebody left a cell phone on the bed, or something else muksa on the bed, a wallet on the bed, etc. Makeup on the bed, or it fell there on Shabbos. If you need the kli that's mutter, or the place that it is mutalat, and then you could shake it. At least as a kli l'makamacher or l'nara samuksa. You move the kli out and you shake off the muksa. All right. But the better thing to do is shake it off first before carrying it. Same thing. If you forget about money that's in the wallet, that's in your beged, and you're meaning in your beged, or you left it in your pocket. Then you need your beged. So turn it over and shake it out. But for muktzah alone, that you're not allowed to do it. Meaning for the sake of the muktzah. If you put it there before Shabbos with kavana, so that meaning you purposely left your money in your pocket, you wanted to hide it there a whole Shabbos. Then you realize, oh boy, I need that jacket. So then that's more of a problem. Also, then that kli becomes a basis, and you're not allowed to move it. Like you have a drawer that's meant for muksa, and then you forgot something in there. You're not allowed to open that drawer, even though you're not moving the muksa directly, because that entire drawer becomes a basis l'davar also. V'yivarim yitz Hashem in the next 7. Yudalid. But let's say you don't need the kli that's mutter, or the place. Also, l'taltala, you're not allowed to take it in yeshul of davar muksa, if there's something muksa on it, right? Also, little biyad of tinok, if you're not allowed to carry a baby in your hand, afilu b'shus hayachid, even in a private property, yesh biyadai even oshar davar muksa. If the baby is holding a rock or any other thing that's muksa, you're not allowed to move it. Even the baby. Achim yesh latina gaguin, but if the baby has gaguin, he's crying, and he wants the parent or the person, shim lo yitlu yechala, and it's to the point where if you don't pick up the baby's going to get sick. And there's no way to get him. He's not letting go of this stone because then he's going to scream and yell. Then you are allowed to carry him. And let's say the baby is holding on to coins. You're not allowed to. You can't even hold his hand while he walks. While he walks with his feet. Then even if he's crying for his parents, because we're afraid that the coin is going to drop out of Tinek's hand, and you're not going to want to lose your money. And he's going to forget it's Shabbos. He's going to lift it up, and then you see that he's taking muktzah with tiltul gomer. And this is also even when he's gonna. You're not even allowed to hold his hand where he might get sick if he ends up holding his hands, right? Kivan she'ein sham sakanas nefesh im lo yitlenu, since it's not a sakanas nefesh, so it's a big chumrah, right? If the baby is holding on to a coin, then even if he's longing for his parents and really going to go mashuga, you still can't hold on to his hand. But there are poskim that say that that's only talking about to hold the actual baby, but to hold on to his hand, that would be allowed if the baby's really upset. Okay, we will stop over there. Everybody should have a good tvach, a good year.